folks. This is Let's Talk Bowling, episode 14. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Go Time, also Coach Go Time, if you want to call me by that. And this is Coach Geek right here. And we're going to talk about some really interesting things today. Some things that really don't get touched too much in our bowling community, but we believe that we should touch on them because it's something that is sometimes an issue, with our community and things that need to be brought up. So we're going to be a little bit on the serious though, but we also got some fun things we're going to be talking about too, as far as our challenges, kind of review over the past, where we was with the challenges and which ones we like and the future.
What kind of future we've got with them, because we got some exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, so I'm going to let you start off, Geek. What did you we're going to start off with the challenges a little bit just to start off, which one? I guess the best question is what was your favorite?
I'm a bracket guy, having grown up a wrestler when I was a kid. So the big bracket that we did with the doubles, where we had the whole bracket and it was all head to head. Remember that one where we had everybody go through? I think that was probably my favorite, just based on my history. But all in all, the one that I think I enjoyed the most was probably the Pick Your Crew, where we did it like the schoolyard pick 'em.
Oh yeah, that one was fun. That one was very fun.
I would like to see us do that again. I was thinking about it earlier today, in fact, and we've been coming up with some new challenges and whatnot. And I think we should do something similar and have all of the admins, or at least who wants to do it, do a pick 'em. So just have maybe 10 of the admins or all 13 of us, whatever, have everybody sign up, and then, we do it. We pick our teams and then we post them and we go head to head with it.
You're talking about 4-man or 5-man?
Depends on how many people sign up and how many admins want. I mean, if we have 13 admins, 5-man times 13 is a lot of people. So could even be 6 or 7.
Like 60, that's like 65 people. So yeah. It would be interesting to do a larger team. That actually would be pretty good. Have an admin challenge where not 5 but 10, including the admin, and total score. That would be pretty dope. That's actually that's a good one.
And we just have everybody sign up, and then we'll have a list and the admins get on. We do our picks. We can do it even like the draft, like we did when we pulled numbers out of the hat, so we knew what order we were picking in, and just go for it.
Yeah, I think we
I
probably
like that one.
Set that up. That is a really good one. Well, my favorite was treason. Treason double.
Oh, yeah.
And not just because I created it and came up with it, but it was just the concept was different. I think we're starting to be known for doing something different in the bowling community, not something normal. And treason was definitely different. Being able to drop your partner and get somebody else new and have a chance of possibly getting that same person back is like what we call the shenanigans. In person, that would cause some real issues, I believe, but it will be all in good fun. And so far, we haven't had any issues with anybody being overzealous or over angry things because there's nothing really on stake or at stake, but everything is just fun.
I think there was that one guy we had to toss out the one challenge right in the beginning, but that's the only one we've had to have an issue with
so far. Only one.
Wasn't the treason doubles the first one that we threw the twist in also, where we had rules and then we changed the rules at the midweek? I think that was the first one we really kind of threw a twist in, wasn't it?
Did treason come before All or Nothing or after? Because we had the All or Nothing trios, and that one had a twist too. I don't remember if it came before or after.
I can't remember.
I think if it was before, then it was the first one with the actual twist.
Definitely one of those two, the All or Nothing or the treason doubles. But yeah, the challenges that we do with the twist in them, I like the most. Other than, like I said, I just like the bracket stuff. I love head to head, like you and me versus you and me. Those are always fun for me.
I think those are fun for most people. I mean, because we are in a competitive sport we are bowling against other people. So it's there, it's built into it. But I think we're just getting the reputation for taking that and making it different. How can we make it different to where it's not the same old mundane thing? Because I think that is part of the problem with the bowling community is it's the same thing. Nobody's doing anything different. Like the 40 frame game, I heard a lot of people were disappointed that they got rid of that during nationals, which I was actually looking forward to doing, and I found out that they wasn't doing it anymore. I'm like, well, dang. I never got the chance to do it, but that's like, why would they take something different away from the sport? Because there's so many different things you can do. For example, I saw when I took my kids practicing one time bowling, the little games that they have that changes the rules of bowling, and like you're trying to build a monster and it go like different things like that. It's like there's so many different ways we can make it different, make it fun, but at the same time also keep people interested in, okay, this is something new, something different, because same old 10-pin bowling is getting old. I mean, even the world 10-pin rules, when they changed the 300 from being 12 strikes to 10, and then every strike was worth 30 or something like that, like changing the scoring. Like, we haven't seen that except for, I think, once with the women. And I think that's the one that Liz Johnson won, and it was crazy. We haven't seen it since then. It's like they kind of try some things, and then they're like, oh, well, we're not going to do it again. Like, okay, what happened with those things? So I like the direction we're going with how we're doing the challenges and how interesting. Thank you, Ken. It was fun last night.
New and unique. New and unique is the motto that we've got, and like we all bowl a lot. Like you said, we all bowl a lot of tournaments, and they're always just rank them top 8, top 26, whatever. You go into just another ranking or match play, but to have some of the stuff that we've been doing, like the trees and doubles, like the King of the Mountain was a fun one that we did. Mystery doubles, when we just paired everybody up randomly. That one was fun too.
Oh, yeah. And there's actually a mystery doubles not too far from me going on, but it's like you don't see too much of that going on. It's always you bring your doubles partner, we bowl. There's some money. I mean, the most fun thing I think we have around here in the South, around my area, is 9-pin no tap. And as I found out today, that's not everywhere close within an hour. It's only in a few places that they still do 9-pin no tap tournaments. And it's like, why? Why aren't there more fun tournaments to do or fun challenges to go out there and bowl and get people out there to come out and just try it? And then if they like it, okay, maybe I want to get into regular 10-pin bowling, and then they start falling in love with that, and then it just grows. There's definitely room for growth in the sport and doing something other than just regular knock the 10 pins down and then and strike and then come back and high five and drink beers all day. It's more to that, and I'm happy we're exploring it. Hopefully we get noticed with changing it up.
I'm all for it.
About patterns for a while. They still ain't heard us yet.
What's it? Yeah, I know, right? The house patterns. Yeah. Someday. I think who was it that brought up the age bracket challenge in our Facebook page? Do you remember who that was?
I took a screenshot of it, but I don't remember who it was. But I did take a note that is actually a very interesting concept that we haven't touched with the age bracket. Even though we have age brackets, with certain things like in TBg, they do have regular like division, and they have senior and super senior, where it's only people of that age group. I've seen it done. But most of the time with PBA, you have regular PBA tour and senior tour.
PBA
but
50,
beyond
PBA
that,
60.
Yeah, it's like beyond that, there aren't too many other variations on age and focusing on, well, you bowling against 25 to 35 and you're bowling against 36 to 45 and stuff like that. There isn't too many variations. So I thought that was very interesting. And I can't remember your name. I don't know who did it, but we are going to try to make that into a challenge. This challenge we're doing right now is actually the creation of one of our members in the group. It's not a birthing of one of us or one of our admin. It actually came from outside the admin team and said, hey, we make this make sense. Oh, this is fun. Okay, let's do it. So I like the age thing because I mean we won't. Well, we won't be in the same age bracket. So I have to disappoint you. I won't be able to
I'm a
bowl you.
I'm an old guy, Dwight. I'm an old guy. Had my first senior masters this last weekend too. So yeah, I'm gonna be in a bracket above you.
Yeah, which your senior masters you didn't do you really didn't do that bad. I don't think you did that bad.
No, I'm not fully disappointed in it. Like you said, I beat myself up on the drive home over a couple of things, but overall, I thought I bowled pretty well. I found out today, I didn't even realize it. I had gotten into the high game pot, and I picked up $65 today from the high game pot for taking second place with that 266 I rolled. I didn't think about it because another guy had a 279. It turned out they paid every game first and second. So,
Oh wow.
I picked up $65 today for taking second place in one of the 6 games high game pot. So,
Oh, that's awesome. And see, things like that is what you live for, especially because you're more of a tournament bowler than you are a house bowler. You actually get out there and with the people who are doing these things
oh
on
yeah,
a normal basis. And it was I didn't get a chance to see you because they actually had a live stream on YouTube, and then the pair you was on, I could see you throw the ball, but I couldn't see you. And then they
yeah.
switched from where you was going down to the low end. I'm like, man, see, they must have knew I was trying to watch you bowl. They're gonna show him. We're gonna throw somebody else out there.
Yeah.
Um,
Neo Prism does a pretty good job. I know you did one live stream for a tournament for stream. I'd like to see us start to do more of that. We've
oh
got
yeah,
Neo Prism here, so it'll be tough for me to get something going here because all the big tournaments, they're at just about every one of them. But I might try to start getting involved with that a little bit.
oh
So
yeah.
I know you did a great job when you did yours.
Oh yeah, it was a good experience. I didn't expect to be there all day, but I learned a lot and gained a lot of knowledge from doing that. That was the Pepsi Scratch challenge that we have down here in May.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't bowling here. I've said it plenty of times. It's not the same as it is up north or in Florida or over where you are. It's we're an SEC country. We mostly watch football down here, so that's why the SEC is such a tough conference because people like football and basketball, mostly football. So we
Yeah.
don't have that many tournaments. Over in New Orleans, Daniel DJ Smooth's dad, he runs probably the most tournaments in the area within a 200-mile radius on a consistent basis. And you got the Rat Foundation. They do their sports shot tournaments up in Alabama. But I never got the chance to drive because it's a drive to get to those. It's like 4 or
Yeah.
5 hour drives just to get to those tournaments where they have those at. And then
Yeah.
damn good average bowler, uh, he has tournaments up in there, but that's in I think Huntsville, so that's too far of a
Yeah.
drive for me just to do it constantly over. So just in my area alone, there's not a lot to really
Yeah.
do. So there is that focus on that is Stream will be doing live in person tournaments. No, and there is a live in person trio tournament I am putting together, and it's going to be not no small money tournament, it's going to be big money tournament. But I still got to find the house. I still got to find a few other things to get that to work, and then start advertising it. So, but big things are coming for the future of Stream
Yeah.
with that.
A
But
lot
yeah,
of it's a lot of it's a lot of it's been offshoots like just doing these challenges that we've been talking about. I'd like to see some of these types of challenges as tournaments, like in-person tournaments. Could you imagine some of the fun stuff we've done in person?
I already have 5 listed down. So,
Yeah.
like some of the tournaments we've done, I believe the 5 of them were made good ones. Like Treason was definitely a good one. All or Nothing Trios, I actually kind of changed that concept around into a big money tournament. And then the Mystery Doubles, of course. And then
Yeah.
what we're doing right now, I've actually written down too because I've never seen it done
Yeah.
in person where we
Oh,
do what we're
don't
doing.
give away the
We ain't
twist.
gonna disclose it yet. I thought I was gonna do it.
I did think you were gonna slip.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna slip. No, there's a surprise for y'all, by the way. There's a surprise, but we ain't gonna tell y'all. But
Nope.
just something in person with the twist and to see how that will work out in play in person and how to pretty much get the logistics of it and how to navigate it so that it's as smooth as possible. That is the goal when I start doing the in-person tournaments. But that's going to all start with the challenges, which leads up to just another topic. And what we're talking about as far as challenges and stuff like that is sportsmanship, integrity. This sport, we're competitive. We do get at each other sometimes, but at the same time, some people just go a little too far. Sometimes it's like, it's ridiculous, and then when we're talking about integrity and sportsmanship, there's different levels to that. There's the ones who exaggerate they're doing things, and there's the ones who say certain things, and there's the ones that gets mad because things are happening that's out of their control. It's like bowling is a sport where it's 50% skill, even not even that, 30% skill, 70% luck. Especially if you were like you a tournament bowler, where you're bowling in a different house every other week or every month, and you don't normally bowl there, so you don't know the ins and outs. And for you to go there and then cry wolf or baby because, it didn't fall my way, and you don't normally bowl there, so you don't know what that house does. Every house is different. Unfortunately, that's part of the reason why it's not an Olympic sport, because you can go in one house and do one thing and then go to another house right down the street and do something completely different. I've experienced that numerous times in Florida. In the two houses when I lived there, that they had was Spring Hill, and I think the other one was called Metro City. They played completely different. Same type of lane surface, but they were completely different and not even 5 miles from each other. So it's just a craziness of that. But when it comes to integrity, what do you think of integrity when it comes to the sport of bowling?
You know what? I honestly think that social media has played a large role in people's integrity in the sport. Other than, I had an issue last night, and it wasn't a huge issue, but it definitely set me off a little bit. But I do think social media, which is kind of, I know I'm beating a dead horse because a lot of people talk about social media being the root of a lot of evils in the world.
Yes.
But it's so easy now to put stuff out there and to say something that maybe you might regret later, because information is so readily available. And if you say something and somebody decides to go check on it, it's pretty easy to tell if somebody's been exaggerating just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a tell. I've had plenty of experiences with that, and it's like, to me, it's like, why? I'm a person that, I'm going to be straight up and honest. For the last 9-10 years, I've struggled with my game. I've really struggled. Last night was the highest series I've shot. The second highest series I've shot lifetime. The highest series I've shot in this state alone. And I've been bowling here for 10 years. And it's like, to find out that the reason why I've been struggling is because of a lack of knowledge on the parts of the people who were drilling, nobody willing to listen. And one of my friends told me this. He said, it was ego. You're going to tell them, hey, something's wrong. This is not supposed to do this. And they're pretty much telling you, why are you questioning what I'm telling you and what I'm doing? I'm the professional, and for me to change and go to somebody completely different and new and have two bowling balls that I've shot really well with, and then last night shoot 837 with a 300 and a 298 with a ball I've never thrown. Like, that's huge. Like, that confirmed it for me that I was just not getting the service that I actually needed. And it was due to someone having an integrity issue with me telling them something about this is wrong. And that also goes into being competitive. Some people are so competitive that excuse their reality and thinking that, this person's doing more than what they're doing. Like what you were talking about with that issue. Like, I don't even understand that. Like, be happy for the person, because they don't do it often.
Yeah, I'll explain it real quick. I didn't really get into detail too much, but I was bowling last night, and it happened a couple times last year, even with the guy I was bowling with. And don't get me wrong, both parties are good people, but they let the competition and the heat of the moment get the better of them. And it's just something that's, you hate to see. We had a guy last night with a $1.80 something average. He just got hot, and the pins kept falling, and he rolled his very first sanctioned 300 game last night. And it wasn't a big deal at the time. You know, we got our butts handed to us because he threw 342 with his handicap. I mean, that's tough to make up.
Yeah,
You know,
you
we've
can't.
got high handicaps. And, you know, it was great. I was happy for him. Everybody was happy for him. But then as the night progressed, he still was bowling pretty well. They had another guy on their team that was bowling pretty well. But they were getting some lucky strikes, like especially the 180 average guy. You know, he'd throw a ball that wasn't, you know, I mean, it wasn't even really in the pocket. It barely touched the head pin. And it was like somebody had their finger in the pins and they were just moving them around and pins were falling all over the place. You know, to a good bowler, it's tough to watch that over and over sometimes. But
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things, the guy had his first 300 ever. He had a 700 series as a you know, a lower 180, not a low average, but kind of an average bowler. You know, I for one was congratulatory. I thought it was great, but we had one guy on our team that started running his mouth a little bit about the lucky strikes. The guy I was head to head with had a lot of strikes that were a little wishy-washy. I beat him scratch. He beat me handicap, so he got the points. It was up to me to bowl better, but you know, my teammate wanted to run his mouth a little bit about, oh, we're in the pocket, we can't carry, they're carrying everything. They don't even have to hit the head pin. And he wasn't just saying it to us, he was saying it loud enough that the other team could hear it. And you know, we talked about this before. I just don't feel like just be happy for the guy that rolled that 300. He had his 800. They beat the snot out of us. Life goes on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it is what it is. I mean, that's why I say the game is 30% skill, 70% luck. Sometimes you just have that, you have it on you. It is what it is. You know,
yeah.
can you ask them to repeat that shot again the next week? Then no, I mean, it might not. But you know, it is what it is, and just accept it and roll with it. There should be no ill will towards, especially a 180 average bowler, because I could
Oh,
see if every team he goes against, he shoots 300 with a 180 average. Then it's an issue. It's like, how come is it every time they bowl against a higher level team, he seems to bowl good? That's one thing. But if it's just a one off, this game, the sport, last night alone, and including your 300, I shot 300, I shot 298. Michael Holloman, I think, shot 300 where he is in Baton Rouge. There was like 2 or 3 more 300 shot in the state of Mississippi that I know of. Like,
yeah.
go across the country, it happens more often now because the technology we have in our sport helps with the carry. It helps with the reading of the lanes. You know, you can get a lot more luckier shots in carrying. It is what it is. No, you can't be mad about that. But yeah, that is messed up to say it loud enough to where other people can hear it.
Yeah, I get the frustration. You know, I was frustrated. I win a lot of my matches scratch and lose a lot of them over handicap.
Mm-hmm.
That just comes with the territory of being a higher average scratch bowler. You know, you have to understand you're going to lose those matches when especially if somebody gets super hot like that. At that point, you just wash your hands of it, say, hey, good job, see you next week, and down the road we go. Yeah, a lot of times people will let that heat of the moment really get them in a bad spot. And again, Eric, you know, he's a good dude. I like him a lot, and I think he just let the heat of the moment get him a little bit.
You know, and that goes to my follow-up question too, is like, you know, how does that ruin the image of the person? No, when you see them do that, and it may be a one-time thing, but it's like, if it happens more than once, it's like that image of that person is now kind of tainted, because it's like, when we get beat, you can't take it. No, you're expecting some type of magical juju going on, and you know, we can't do it. Once you get that defeatist attitude, the rest is kind of goes downhill. You start throwing worse shots, you know, and so, you know, for me definitely experiencing it a few times in my lifetime and career, it definitely ruins my image of the person, you know, and I call them haters, or people that want to see you fail. I've had a person literally announce a 127 that I shot, you know, during league, you know, because someone had shot 300. And the reason why he did it was because 3 months back to back in the travel league, I shot 300 the first stop, shot 300 the second stop, shot 290 the third stop. So I was like hot. I was on a roll. And for me to shoot a 127, it was just a bad game. And to go announce it to a whole bowling alley full of everybody, it was like, why would you do that? Like, what is the purpose of doing something like that, and to your own teammate at that? So it was like from that point forward, like I started looking for another travel league team to bowl with. I finished out the season with them, but after that, I was like, man, deuces. Like, I'm not about to put up with that. And then they even benched me one time. Like, my first 300 I shot, it was in Houma. I did it the first game, had the front 18. Came back the next month, it was in Baton Rouge. Did it again in the second game. So I come into this third stop, and I shoot like two something. And they were like, oh, low man out. I'm like, low man out. I'm like, but I'm not even low man. No, I'm consistently shooting better each game. No, if anything, I'm only going to talk about it was by how many pins you were under your average. And I was only 5 pins under, where there were some other bowlers who were 15, 20. But I shot the lowest game, so they took me out. I'm like, well, I thought it was off of pins from average.
Yeah.
No, all of a sudden it was low man out. And I was walking around the bowling alley, and another team was like, why are you sitting? I was like, oh, they took me out. I was like, why did they take you out? I was like, 'cause I shot 205. I was low man. I was like, that's not really how y'all do things, because we did things just like they did. It's like, I thought it was by what you shoot. I shot 205. What's your average? 210. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have sat out. I'm like, I don't know what happened. It just happened to sit me out. And it was shady because every single house I went to that first game, once I figured things out, I got better. So for them to do that to me, it was like kind of like, it wasn't traumatized, but it was like, get the side eye, ruin your image of what those people, why are you doing this to me? What type of integrity do you have by not even holding up the rules that we set forward, So it's just crazy how people do things and say things and want things to be true or want to win so bad, that they just think, oh, well, you just do whatever. No, some people just get lucky. Sometimes situation comes up, and it is a situation. It is what it is. You can't control what you can't control. In the 30 years I've been doing this, I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of crazy things. I've seen people want to kill a man because he stole $10,000 at the prize fund. That's thievery. It's like, dude, why would you take $10,000 out of a league prize fund? People never got their money.
That's not good.
And it was like,
that's just stuff that's inexcusable. I mean, that again, back to integrity. If you're the guy like me and my wife are the secretary tandem for our league, if you're the guy responsible for that money, man, there's just no excuse for that. You've got all of those people depending on you to keep those books, to keep that money together, and to distribute it at the end of the season. That just goes back to that integrity and bowling thing that we were talking about. Like, you don't do stuff like that.
No, certain people's integrity can be questionable. From the years, I'm pretty sure as long as you've been bowling, we've seen some criminals that do some crazy stuff.
And some issues from people like, both of my friends that I've talked about recently. They're both good people. I like them both. And one, when there's money involved, again, with somebody stealing all that, our Tuesday league does have a high first place payout. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's a lot of money in it. So I can see where people are going to be a little bit more competitive because, we're talking about $20,000 for first place, just for first place, divided by 5 man. That's a big payout. I get it. We want to win. But not at the.
That's huge.
I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win at the expense of being, having an attitude that doesn't become me. Like, I want people to see me the same all the time. Somebody who is upbeat, somebody who is happy when you bowl well. I don't care what your average is. 300s, like you were saying, 300s are just happening more and more often with the equipment. And the one thing I've always said is you could be a lower average bowler and get hot and throw that 300. And man, that is exciting stuff. To belittle it at all is, it definitely, I definitely came home and was shaking my head like, I don't know what was in his head tonight.
No, and
So
it's crazy because it's the competitiveness that gets to you so much, and then integrity and sportsmanship go out the window because you're so headstrong that you can't humble yourself to the situation. No,
yeah,
that lack of humility is what causes people to lash out, want to think more than what it is. Look, it is what it is. The guy's he's just lucky tonight. He's getting it. The game involves luck. If it involves
oh yeah,
skill, true skill, then a lot of us and a lot more people, the scratch bowlers would win more because it involves true skill. It'd be just like basketball. Truly good basketball players are always going to dominate. They may have an off night that happens with everybody, but LeBron James is LeBron James at the Staples Center, which is now whatever they call it now. He's the same at Madison Square Gardens. He's the same at the Smoothie King. He's the same no matter what. He's going to be what he's going to be. He's going to get his 30 points if he wants to. No, bowling is different. You can go to California and shoot 300 and go to New York and shoot 150. You can't control that particular aspect because it's just that much harder to do that. So
yeah.
to not be humble in it and to say, hey, look, he's having a good night. It is what it is, and move on. Like that's just like I said, that's just unacceptable in our sport, and that's what's holding some of the sport back. Is because people get mad, especially. I mean, if we were to actually have a camera on everything that happened behind the scenes in bowling, on every single bowling alley on this in just this country alone, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty rowdy. Behind especially when a lot of money is involved. I have not had the honor or chance to bowl in a league where first place was $20,000. No, I think the highest league I think I've been in, I think first place was maybe 1,500 a man. So I could imagine the competitiveness for $5,000 a man on a
Yeah.
five-man team. I could imagine the hot heads and people getting mad because that's a lot of money. You're getting,
Yep.
I mean, how much? I don't know how much more you're getting versus what you're putting in, but I'm pretty sure between first and fifth, you're getting more than your money back.
Yeah, we took fourth last year and made money, and people like prize funds are always there's a catch to prize funds. We can get into one of these days, but when you make more than what you put in, that's a pretty hefty prize fund. I'm in two leagues like that, Mondays and Tuesdays. Tuesdays is 40 man. We pay $30 a week, 37 weeks, but it's $4,000 a man first place. Mondays is about half because there's only 20 teams. It's still $10,000. It's 2,000 a man for first place. So, and then and that again, just like social media, money becomes that second factor
Yeah,
with people losing their cool, their just becoming poor sports because X, Y, or Z happened and they didn't agree with it.
yeah,
Money can play a lot of effect on people.
yeah. Or I mean, even bragging rights too. Just to say that you are better than somebody that day, it plays an effect. But money definitely by far is the worst, which is why we don't have any challenges that give away money.
No,
I'm not for it. I'm not going to stand for it. Now we've done a prize, but Stream will never give out money unless it's an in-person tournament.
yeah,
If it's in person, that's one thing because it's more control. Over online, virtual, I don't want the questions. I don't want the headache. I don't want any of the problems with having to deal with giving money out to somebody
cash.
and the things that people will do to win. No, that is another thing. No, but that leads us up into our next topic as far as moving forward with the challenges and the future of where they're going.
Yeah,
And I'll go ahead and start off on that. And no, I've put a couple polls out there just to gauge a feel of what people want because no, with the challenges and reviewing them, our number one thing is getting people to turn in photos. People always forget, or if they bowl bad, they don't want to take the picture, so they don't take the picture, and then it turns into a zero. Like at this point in time with our challenges, we are always looking forward trying to better people. I had to turn that light on. It's getting dark outside, but we're looking to better people. We're looking to get people to be stronger bowlers in competition. With that being said, there are a couple polls out there asking about, whether they rather a prize, would they rather bragging rights, or another one, what would you rather win? And there'll be some more polls after that. But I'm gauging the interest because I feel like if there was something to be won, then people may take it a little more serious to take that picture. Once again, I will reiterate, Stream will never, ever give out money over a virtual competition, ever. And that's not going to happen. It would only happen for an in-person tournament. And we're not close to that. I have them in the makes, but we're not doing it anytime soon. Right now, we're focusing on growing our challenges, and we are seriously considering thinking about adding prizes. And with prizes, there comes a fee. Now, those polls will come sooner or later as far as what the fee will be, but I'm still gauging interest, and I'm still trying to see what is it that people really want. And for the most part right now, it looks like people want to win a prize, which why not? I see it as, you be able to win something without having to go somewhere and win something. You know what I mean? Yeah, they have ball raffles at like some of these travel leagues and stuff like that, but that's still a ball raffle, and you're putting in money, and they have to pull your ticket. And that's if they pull your ticket, you may win it. Well, this one could be built off of your skill. This one could take your skill to the next level, is because that is the next level of bowling. Once you get comfortable bowling in challenges and bowling against people, it becomes about bowling for money, bowling for prizes.
Yeah.
Bowling and keeping your mindset and not having to worry about, okay, because I'm not going to lie, I don't like bowling for money. And the reason why I don't like bowling for money is because it always ends up bad. And when I say bad, I mean tap city. Tap city. I will leave about 8-10 pins, or leave leaves, and it's all because I'm subconsciously thinking about the money that I just put up, because I really want to win. So I really want to do well so that I can win this prize from the money that I put up. I've never fully developed that, and that's got to be the next part of my game, is getting to the point where I can go to these tournaments. I'm talking about coming out there with you bowling the big Swift?
Big Swiss would be a great tournament for you to come out.
Yeah, it's like I got to get that mindset out of my head. It's like I'm just here to have fun and throw the ball as best as I can. Never mind the regrets or the consequences of whatever. And that's kind of where I want to go with the challenges, is take people to that next step of bowling for a prize and keeping your head in the game and not letting it beat you up. And the only way we can do that is by having people experience that. And even if it's virtually, at least you get to do it from your own home. But that is one of the future things that we're going to be having for our future challenges. Not this one in particular, maybe not the next one, but coming soon. We are considering seriously about adding a small fee. Like I said, I will disclose that at a later time, for a prize. And then all that money goes towards that. Well, part of the money goes towards that. Of course, you got other fees, and we'll break all that down. But there's another part. I'm going to Geek. I'll let you talk about that part. The other part, thing that we're trying to do with these challenges. Go ahead, Geek. Tell the folks.
I'm assuming you're going towards the part of the prize fund going to some of the charities that we were talking about. Some of the stuff that we would like to see. I know I bowl with a couple of autistic kids. I actually make an hour drive occasionally to go up and see my friend David Bacala. He watches all of my YouTubes. He watches all of my lives. Great kid. Definitely on the spectrum with ADHD on top of it. I've got a couple other people who watch pretty religiously with some underlying issues. And then the veterans. I know Patrick Roper has been big. We worked out a logo for him, even, that he's going to start donating a bunch of stuff to veterans. Those types of things, I think, when we do start those fees, Dwight was bringing up, some of that's going to go to certain charities, whether it be autistic bowlers, because we have a league specific out here for autistic bowlers, bowlers on the spectrum, veterans who, want to be in the sport, maybe they can't afford it. A lot of stuff that we could donate to. People could even give us some ideas for other things. But I think that if we were to start, 1, doing some fees, 2, adding in some prizes, 3, maybe it was going to some good causes, I think a lot of people would get involved.
Yeah, that was my focus, because, you have all these tournaments that you see. There's always the tournament fee for running it. these tournaments and the challenges right now currently they do cost because I'm using technology that I have to pay for. I'm paying for out of pocket. So of course there's going to be that fee because that's going to help make sure that I can grow stream and we can grow stream in a way that we can continue to use the technology. So I truly believe in supporting our vets. Our country actually did more for our veterans. I shouldn't see vets on the street. No, that bothers me. My father is a vet. No, he's not in as bad a shape as some others, but it's like I see vets all the time around here in South Mississippi, and they're struggling. And the question is why? No, you paid a price. You served your country. Why is it that we are not doing anything to really help our veterans? No, and even the ones that can bowl, no, some of them are in situations where they can't afford everything they want, and everything that I've thought about with adding some fees to it was like, it's not just about stream gaining. It's about the bowlers gaining and somebody else gaining. I would love to be able to donate every single challenge to autism and get some stuff or maybe some equipment that the bowling alley needs for the autistic kids to use, or for vets that are trying to bowl or want to bowl, or maybe need something, give them what they need to bowl. Like those type of things is what matters. That's how we grow a community, by including those who don't have the means to do what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, week to week, to come out here and actually show up and fill out. So, the biggest thing is, to me, is that made me the most excited, was to be able to donate and help grow the sport of bowling in that way, so that these people see that they're appreciated and that they're loved and cared for, and that stream is going to help in whatever way we can take care of them. That's my view on it.
I know we've got a few vets with us. I know one of the gentlemen, him and I were talking, and he was struggling a little bit. He's missing one leg and is on a prosthetic due to his time. So things like that, I think, would be. I'm all in. Like, if we can come up with something and really get people involved and be able to make a difference, I think that would be a huge thing for our whole group.
Oh yeah, I truly believe it'll be huge. It's going for a greater cause. So yeah, you're going to get a prize. Surprisingly, most people want a bowling ball. Yeah.
That's what bowlers want. They need new bowling equipment.
Want new bowling balls. With RevTech Pro coming and all coming in to play on RevTech Pro, some of those things would actually be part of the prize that we would get. But of course, all things gotta be tested out, done, and felt out before we get there. But I truly believe that this is the future of stream, and I think it's going to start something new and different that most people haven't seen. Because even then, the twists are not going to stop.
Oh heck no!
They're not going to stop.
That's my favorite part, making people think one thing and then giving them a little bit of we're going to give you this.
Yep, it's like that. Those things are not going to stop. We're going to keep the twists regardless, but truly believe that all that is going to be incorporated, especially because I know the biggest question is, what if I'm bowling against a higher average bowler? Well, we have that under wraps too, because what I'm proposing that we start doing is asking for USBC numbers. Then with that, when we do a bracket-based challenge, whether it's at average or age, we can go in and see what your average is and start off right the bat with the competition, instead of having to not waste a week, but use a week to find out what everybody's feeling. We can instantly just look at, okay, this is
that goes back to integrity and sportsmanship, though. I would hope that most of the people that get involved with us are just going to be open and honest. That would be the goal, is to understand that we're doing good things for not just ourselves, not just you, but again, helping a lot of people, maybe that are in need, and just have something about yourself that says, I'm just going to be honest about this. My average is X. I belong in this range of bowlers, or my age. I would love to bowl with I would love to say I'm not over 50, but I am.
Oh yeah, you got a dog in the background, huh? Because I hear something growling.
Yeah, I got two.
They're fighting.
Harley, come here.
But that's where we're going to go with it because I think that's the easiest way to, one, verify averages, and two, get all the information we need about a bowler. And like you said, be honest because we're going to find out. No, I don't judge nobody. I will tell you right now, I have 10 300s, and right as of today, and I think 7 of them are on USBC. I remember every single one I shot. No, it is what it is. I don't care how many you shot because you did it. But don't be out here bragging, acting like you're bigger than life and you really ain't there. No, that comes to integrity and just being honest. Like, hey, you are where you are because that's where you are. If you want to get better, work at it, practice, and you'll get there. No, it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Yeah. No sense in making things up because I told this to a previous host that when people go looking, then that kind of messes up not just you, but me as well because we are together. So
information is public. That type of information, it doesn't take much to go and find the information that you're looking for. Maybe they were telling the truth, maybe they weren't. I think a lot of it comes down to trusting the people. It's what's that old saying? It's hard to gain somebody's trust, easy to lose it.
Yeah.
Just be honest, be who you are. You don't need to try and tell somebody you're something you're not.
Yeah. No, just accept where you are. Trust me, I've had to accept for a long time that there are other bowlers better than me. And it bothered me to some extent, but it bothered me to where I drove myself to get better and get better and get better and get better. And now with the changes that I've made to my game, which if y'all wondering what changes I made, I changed PSOs. I changed to somebody that actually took the time to listen to me and hear what I was saying. And the results last night show that, yeah, I'm back. As I told Patrick earlier, the era of struggling go time is over. It's now going to be foot to ass go time. And I'm planning on delivering on that if anybody wants to question it. Because I feel good. And again, that definitely wasn't a fluke. No, that was normal. And then the knowledge I have over time is like, I felt so good in that moment. Like, I knew I was going to shoot 8. I knew I was going to shoot it. It was like, because I found the shot, it was easy, and I trusted my equipment. Even though it was a brand new ball, I trusted it to do it, and it did it. No.
Oh, man.
I thought of another thing, too, and I'm going to post the video in a couple of days, but if I carry everything, do you know what I actually shoot?
Well, I know that last game should have been 302. No, you shot 298.
The last ball was definitely
not
checked
good.
Up. It checked up and it was 8 down. But every other shot was in the pocket. If I strike every single time, carry everything, I'd shoot 891.
Yep.
So it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I was just looking at my wall. I feel a chamois challenge coming on.
Oh, we definitely gonna have one. Y'all lucky that me and Geek ain't even in right now, are we? You never know. You never know. But know. It's definitely fun where I see the challenges going. And we're talking about integrity and all this stuff because of the direction that we're heading. No, we don't want no issues. We've had one issue, and that person ain't even part of the stream no more. We ain't got no other issues. So. Y'all want to be on this ride and want to see us grow? No, join the challenges, help us out, and just be honest, be yourself. We're not going to judge you. No, what's the point of judging? I can't judge you more than you can judge me. No, so don't come in thinking that we're going to sit there like some of these. I'm not going to name groups, but I've seen it where guys shot 300 on a single on one lane. He shot it, and people were just roasting him about it. And I'm like, but he still did it. No, We're not going to do that. We're going to celebrate everything that you celebrate from beginning to end. We're not going to take anything from you. So don't be ashamed that you ain't shot one yet. It comes. There's a few million bowlers in the world. Not everybody shot.
Somebody told me somebody just had their very first. I'll have to find the article. 70-year-old lady had her first 300 ever at the age of 70.
Wow.
So it could happen. It could happen anytime, and you won't see it coming. And enjoy it when it's there. And I hope everybody around you enjoys it too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna come. And this is for all our average bowlers, even the ones who struggled shooting 300 and have over 200 average. It's gonna come. No, but work without effort is dead. Meaning simply, you got to work at your craft. No, you guys want to get there. It's going to take some work to get there. The 30% skill is a lot. That 30% skill is a lot of the game, even though the other 70% is luck. That 30% is a lot, carries a lot of weight. You got to do a lot of the things the same. But
mentally too.
Huh?
Mentally too. You can't just rely on your physical game. I know I've been working with some people. You know, you said 70% luck. I'd say 30% skill, 50% luck, another 40% mental.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, mental. I include mental in the 30. You know, because
in the 30.
Yeah, because you got to have a strong mental game, and you got to have the skill. You know, just like I said, that 30%, it may be a smaller of the. I mean, I even go much to say 40%, but that smaller portion has a lot of weight because you could just be Joe Schmo and throw the ball anywhere. That ain't gonna work. You really gotta have a lot in that 30 to 40% in order for it to really take off and take away a lot of that luck. And congrats, It's Ray. She said she's been bowling almost 40 years, and right now 290 is her highest. So messing around
is a fantastic game.
Messing around with us, you're going to get there. No, we're going to get you there, and it's the mental, like you said, Geek. It's the mindset that I can do this. No matter who I'm going against. Even though in the future we will have more bracketed challenges, where especially when there's prizes involved, to bracket everybody off into their own bracket, so it's not a big thing about going against a higher bowler, unless it's one of those challenges with the twist where we're going to do something different. We're going to separate everything off, and everything's going to be scratched. We're not going to be worried about handicap, because if you're bowling against people of equal skill, then you're going to be in a fair competition to bowl just scratch. And for any of those that are listening, if you think I won't re-rate you, I will. If you think that coming in and saying I have a lower average and you do, and then you just take off with it because you've just been sandbagging for so long, that I won't re-rate you, I will let you know there is a rule stating that tournament directors can re-rate at any moment in time if they feel like a player is at a higher level, and you will be re-rated and placed in the proper bracket, because nobody's going to come in and try to mess up the vibe that we have going on by trying to cheat. You know,
that's public knowledge. Public knowledge is out there.
Yes, we will find out. Trust me. And if it looks fishy, we gonna do some digging. We gonna dig. All I need is a first name, last name, and where you live. That's it.
Yep.
I can find everything else out. But do we have any questions or anything before we close out today's episode of Let's Talk Bowling? Open up the floor. Anybody has a question?
Yeah, I know Jenny Seeker was in here. I know I got her I just wanted to mention the stream website, or I guess it's not the stream website, it's the RevTac website, but I know she was talking about she was going to go broke earlier, so.
Oh yeah, you guys please go check that out. It is RevTac Pro, RevTacPro.com. And that's where you can get your stream merch at. No, we have jackets, we have book bags, which hurry up on the book bag because it will be gone as of November 1st. And I'm going to have to find another one. But RevTac Pro is definitely taking on the responsibility of holding our merchandise there so that we can grow the page, not just through the cleaner that we're selling, but also through just the merchandise. And then, like I said, some of that stuff with the prizes coming up in future challenges is going to be given away as prizes. You know, so, but if you want something, go check it out. I mean, we have a good plethora of things on there, and there's more to be added to it.
Yeah, we're not even done adding stuff yet.
No, we're not even done adding stuff to it. Hunter says, appreciate you both. This has been a fun thing to be a part of this league season. We appreciate you for joining us. Trust me, it's it's not us that makes it work, it's you guys. No, we need y'all to participate. And the more we can get more people like-minded like us that want to grow, get stronger in the sport, but also grow a community to where we're not downing each other, we're all picking each other up. No, speaking of picking each other up, no, Mr. Roger Bird just joined my live. Welcome, brother. Welcome. No, I gotta say that it's a feeling like no other when you have people who are on the same wavelength that will genuinely want to see you do good. I've always been a trash talker as far as my coaching abilities, and I always said that if I had a coach team, they will be some of the most badass bowlers out there because I'm going to challenge them, test them, and push them to the limits that I see that they can actually achieve because I see their potential. I look past that. So I just said you joined. I'm sorry, Roger. But I get that from my teammates now. Like I haven't had that in a few years. No, Roger is a big advocate. I got to shout him out before we close out that he's been a big chunk in building up my confidence again in my game because, he just sees you for who you are and, hey, get it next shot. And it's like, you don't know you need that until you actually get it. And then it's like, dang, this is a missing part of my game. I feel good going into battle with this team, because of the feeling that I get. But man, it's got to be done with all of y'all.
It's a game changer.
That's what he says. Damn right, it's about lifting each other up. Yeah, I mean, it's all about that. It's all about helping each other grow to the next level. No, not everybody's going to be the best. No, we have off nights, up and down. Doesn't matter. But we have that moment where we're going to shine. And the last thing we need is, as far as, like I said, integrity, somebody trying to rain on your parade because they don't like you or they hating on you because they secretly feel like you're better than them. And now I'm just going to do whatever I can to make your day crappy. Like, nah, it's not about that. No, we're going to celebrate you regardless if you did shoot 10 sanctioned 300s or whether you didn't. It doesn't matter. No, I know Pharrell Williams has about 100 and something 300s. I know all of them are not sanctioned. They're not all, but majority of them are. But majority of them, he probably done bowled in tournaments all over the place. I mean, you count, we're bowlers. We count for our career. We count pins. We count. We going to count how many times we did something. I know I shot. The damn scoreboard counts for us. It's all about numbers. We're going to keep track. Regardless. So, man, just keep y'all integrity and keep your sportsmanship. Because that's what helps us grow. And just know that if you don't, Spring may not be the place for you. Because we're not going to tolerate anybody downing anybody in the group. And if I see it, you won't be in the group. I'm just going to be honest. I'm click a button.
That's a couple of keystrokes and you're no longer
deleted. That's exactly how that one will be. Now this is me just rambling on talking trash, but I'm telling the truth. You can test that if you want. Like we're trying to move forward, and we're going to move forward with everybody being hand in hand and being in integrity and in sportsmanship and supporting each other because we've been that for the last year now, and
we are going on a full year, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going on. I think it is a year because Josh said that when we did that challenge.
Yeah, that was our first. That was our first group, though. That wasn't the full page. I think the full page was a little bit later. I mean, you've had the page for. Yeah, you've had the page for a while, but we really ramped up like mid-season last year. We didn't ever get a full season in.
Yeah, no, this will be the first full season for Stream. But we will come up on a year, I think, January. So I think 3 months. Yeah, about 3 months. Yeah. So from where we started to where we're at, we're a long ways from where we started. And we don't plan on stopping. The difference between us, and I'm not talking trash or throwing shade, the difference between us and CTD is about creating differences and teaching. We're about actually using them in challenges and losing what you learn so you know what it feels like. Because it's one thing to say, this is what you do. It's another thing to go and do it. And I think that's where we kind of strive versus CTD, because they don't do any challenges with their group. It's all just they're talking and they ask questions, but nobody's really testing anything. No, we're going to test you and we're going to make it fun. No,
Oh yeah,
we can't do that.
if you I've always said if you take our challenges, even the free ones, they've been free to enter up to this point, but if you take them serious enough, you can learn. One, you're going to challenge yourself, and two, you're going to put yourself in a pressure situation like you were talking about earlier. And all it takes is you just understanding, hey, you know what? This is free, but I picked this night and I'm going to bowl well this night, and then you go out and do it. And if you don't, you move on to the next one. There'll be another challenge, and if you do, you get to celebrate it with us. So
Yep. And
it all depends on how you take it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is to say not all the challenges are going to be fees. Some of them are going to be free, but going forward in the near future, there's going to be a lot more fees for the challenges so that we can get you guys prizes, get you guys that new bowling ball that you guys want. You have to bowl for it, but with us dividing everybody into brackets, I think it'll be a lot easier to split that up and say, hey, this is what you went for first, second, third. Good job.
Yep.
And take that, go out there, share it with everybody. Hey, I got this from everybody. Bring more people in and help grow the group. No, right now we're sitting at a record. Last challenge was a record of 130 people. We are at 108 people for this challenge right now. So imagine, and this is brought to me by Derek, imagine the challenge where we have over 200. I'm fearing it logistically, but at the same time, I'm excited to see it.
I don't know, man. Your system is working really good right now. I don't think we have too many issues coming up with how many bowlers we can get with the things that you've implemented.
Oh yeah,
I mean
it works. We need more of us because it's time consuming to go through it, and there are other things in the future that we do want to work on with Stream. But yeah, job forms. I learned about it from my wife, and once I seen what it could do, I'm like, I can use that. She was like, how?
Well,
I can use that.
And that comes back to you guys watching. I know we've got merchandise out there. I know we talk about subscriptions occasionally, everything. I've got a small handful of subscribers, and I'm always giving stuff away. These things do take time. They do take a little bit of money. They do take a lot of effort on the back end. So everything you guys do to support us is much appreciated, and it's going in the right direction.
Very. Trust me, we will not waste y'all time or effort or money. But with that being said, Geek, do you have anything else? Anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to close out?
No. Shout out to all of the people participating in the challenge, all of the people in the page, all the people that watch our podcast weekly. I am going to shout out, we've got a special podcast, or I guess, what are we calling it? Coffee with Stream. Let's Talk Bowling with Stream on Saturday morning.
Let's talk bowling and coffee.
Let's talk bowling and coffee. Yeah. So be sure to tune in Saturday morning. We've got a lot more for you. We're going to have I think we're up to 6 guests already that we're going to have. Just going to have a good time. We're going to talk. We're going to take questions. So shout out to everybody that's just continually watching and supporting what we're doing.
Yes. And as far as shout out, I gotta shout out my boy Craig Gavin, my PSO, for drilling up the ace. Shout out Patrick Roper for getting me the ball, because he said, I want you to try this, both of us. And that review is coming soon. We just gotta get him to get a full set with it, at least one. But
I'm working on it. I tried last night. I'm telling you, if you'd have seen the ball motion, you'd have told me to get out of that ball too.
I probably would have, because your game looks like it has evolved to something newer, and you just got to get it dialed in, But I definitely got to shout out them, Swag Bowling, and like I said, Stream fans, all y'all out there. Thank y'all for just tuning in and making this more than what it was in the beginning, and continuing to grow with us and ride with us. That's all.
What time are we thinking Saturday morning? I had a couple questions on that.
10 a.m. Central, so 9 a.m. your time, and 11 a.m. Eastern.
9, 10, 11, Jenny. I think she's Central, so 10 a.m.
So it's at 10 a.m. would be Central time. On Saturday, we'll recap the month. Of course, also reveal a couple other things, because we only have one bowler on Saturday. So there will be something revealed during that live. and we will let you guys know some things. And then we were also going to talk with some really good bowlers. I know from the list we have, I know Mr. Roger Bird is going to be joining us again on that Saturday morning. And as far as Nick Cunis, I don't know how to say his name. Sorry, Nick. Nick, what's the boy named? Tyree Alston and Charles Gable so far have signed up, plus us two. So, and we plan on getting quite a few people in. It'll be for about an hour. So we appreciate you if y'all tune in and see us live on that Saturday. But if that being said, I'm Coach Go Time. This is Coach Geek right here. And we will catch y'all on the flip side. Deuces.
Later.